the light turned on inside me. The light appeared. The light of the pineal gland lit up just as it is described in so many old accounts.
Nicole Murphy just sent me a guy. He just followed God, man. He raised 11 of his lunar seeds. He raised his Christos in 11 seeds. He's normally right-handed. Now he can write cursive left-handed, and he writes backwards. And his eye open, he now sees, whether his eyes are open or shut, he sees the yellow and green light on the wall. He's illuminated. His body is healed. He has had like miracles.
Waking up in the morning, I saw a light on the wall. It was a violet-colored, circular shape with a light yellowish color in the center of it. When I closed my eyes, I could still see it. But with my eyes closed, the light in the center becomes bright light green, surrounded by a purplish color. The light has been here ever since. And I want to make it clear, I don't have to go into a special meditative state to see it. I can see it whether my eyes are closed or open. I've now seen exact images of it everywhere, online, in ancient paintings, even in nature. It looks exactly like most images of the crown chakra, but mixed with the bright green color of the heart chakra in the middle. And the colors change shades and invert based on the light and whether my eyes are open or closed. It also looks exactly like the sun when it's surrounded by violet light. It really is an exact reflection of the sun. It comes alive in the evening. It starts to tingle and vibrate in the space between my eyebrows, sometimes even early in the day. But it really starts waking up and becoming active as evening approaches and it's starting to get darker out. Then at night, it's like a light show. It's very vibrant, active. The center of the circle widened. It became bigger and brighter. And I learned to look into the light, like looking into a flame. I could see images, like watching a video. But it's all in that same light greenish, yellowish color. So rather than just looking at the light, I learned to look into the light, like watching a screen. And I've since learned, by looking into the light, you can see whatever you intend to see, and some things you never intended to see. The light began to move into different shapes and patterns. It's always in movement. It's very similar to a flame, but it can stay in certain shapes for days or even weeks. I began to be able to see two eyes, one on each side of the light. I see them as a reflection of me, like I'm looking in a mirror and seeing my three eyes looking back at me. I usually have to close my eyes and look for them, and then I can see them. I've never gotten sick since the light appeared. It feels like I can't get sick. I started drawing with my left hand. I could never draw anything with either hand. But what felt like overnight, I could all of a sudden draw anything with my left hand. I decided to try writing with my left hand. I tried to write one paragraph every day with my left hand. On my first attempt, I was able to write backwards from right to left. So when it's held up to a mirror, everything is written properly, including all punctuation. It flowed smoothly without even trying from the first attempt. And here I did it without even thinking. I've continued writing that way ever since. And I even wrote an entire notebook backwards, with drawings included, starting from the back going all the way to the front. I started writing cursive with my left hand, backwards of course, and I could barely remember how to write cursive with my right hand. But again, on my first attempt, I could write cursive backwards with my left hand, and when held up to a mirror, it can be read perfectly. The light gets more and more powerful. Last time, it was the most powerful experience I've ever been through. There are no words to properly express how incredible it was. It lasted for hours. I was so grateful that I was prepared for it. I used every single tool I had in my arsenal, every single meditation breathwork technique I've learned to get me through it. I was so grateful that I've learned to ground myself in the body and send the energy back down. I don't know what I would have done if that happened all at once in the beginning without going through all the steps of the awakening journey. the same time, it felt great. My whole skull was vibrating, and it was the most beautiful light show I could ever imagine. It was like a waterfall going in reverse. A big, thick waterfall of violet-colored light going up, and mixed in that violet color were tiny little bubbles of every color of the spectrum. I kept pulling the energy up, and it just kept bursting up into the skull. And I could see everything that I can usually see in front of me with my eyes closed. But now I could see through the top of my skull, all above my head. We can use the light from the pineal gland the same way we use any flashlight to see better in the dark. It's good news for all of us. Everything good that's ever been said about the divine light of God, the power of God, it's all true. What we call God is always right here and all around and inside everything. It's in the space between everything. It's in the silence. God is the silent space between and inside everything. And I've always known that. I never had any doubt. Since I was a child, I've always felt the light of God inside me. The only difference is now I can see it. I've always felt the divine light inside me, and now I can see it. Stay alert and stay awake. We'll talk again soon.